Hello, it's November 17th, and my name is Robert O'Brien, and I'm a recovering stammerer. So, I was on the bus last week coming home from one of my acting classes, and I'll talk about the acting some other time because what happened on the bus was fascinating and thought provoking and kind of scary, really. Let me explain. I'm an immigrant here in Vancouver, and I never really intended on being one. So my car is at home in Dublin, and I miss my car very much. But I was on the bus at 10:30 at night, and it was a quiet night, which is unusual for the number 16. And there was a teenage girl sitting right at the back of the bus. I think she had just been to yoga or something because she was in a lycra pair of pants and sitting rather casually. So I got on and I was reading my book a few seats down from her. And as we stop at one of the stops on the way home, this older woman, she's rather large set, but this older woman, she got on the bus and she made a beeline for this young girl, which is strange in itself. And she said in a really loud voice, "Are you going to sit like a whore?" And normally I'd laugh. I mean, it's like, what? Did she really say that? But the tone of her voice, you knew she really said that. And the girl turned and looked, and I turned and looked as well. Normally, I would never get involved because it's not worth it. But I just looked at her and I said, she can sit in whatever way she wants. Now, I don't know how good my speech was because it was off the cuff and maybe not as formulated as I would have liked, but I said something. And she was, looking at me, and I was like, oh, crap, because she could probably take me down. And she looked, and thankfully she got off about 3 stops later. But as she was walking off, she turns and shouts back, "Don't tell a woman about a woman's business." And I didn't have a response. About 10 minutes later, it came to me. That no woman should attack another woman like that. It's a very strong word. And I looked at the young girl and said, "Are you okay?" And she said yes, but you knew she wasn't. She was shaken and she had been effectively verbally attacked on the bus. Now, I'm sure that's happened to a few people. It's happened to me. It happened to me years ago. I was reading a sci-fi technical manual called Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. It's not quite canon, and it was basically describing the refit of the original Enterprise, the NCC-1701. So, pure starship porn. I loved it, and I was reading it with my cousin rather excitedly, like total geek. And this guy beside us was laughing, and he was like, "That's make-believe crap, you shouldn't be reading that, blah blah." Now, okay, I wasn't called a whore, but when other people criticize us, when they criticize me even, like I took it very much to heart, and whether that's affected my stammer, my attitude towards people, I think it has. I'm more suspicious, much more defensive, and it's a shame, and I guess what I'm trying to basically say is not so much that people verbally attack other people, of course they do, that's life, but when should we stand up and defend ourselves, or when do we learn not to let us affect it? When do we learn not to let it affect us? As a stammerer, everything anyone said went straight to my core, and usually those negative things affected me the most. And it's only now, as a grown man, that I'm beginning to learn, what people say doesn't have to affect us. If you're wrong, if you're doing something wrong, fine. Put your hand up, admit you're wrong, and listen to good advice. But when it's unwarranted, and as stammerers, I think we just sit back and take it. When do we really learn to be assertive, and how do we learn to be assertive? It's a tricky one. It's one I'm still working on, but at least saying something, I think, in this girl's defense was something that I was thrilled about. And I hope she's okay, and I hope, everyone out there, stuff happens, but we criticize ourselves enough. We don't need other people doing it, Anyway, that's my blog for this week. Words have power, and when should we listen? Thank you. Speak to you soon.